Welcome to the second episode of the Joe Doc Terry Show. We're going to talk more about stories, and I'm going to tell you a story.
You ask questions, and I answer them, or whatever. This is the Joe Doc Terry Show.
God made man because he loves stories. This is written by Elie Wiesel, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author in his book, The Gates of the Forest. That appears just before the preface of the book I talked about in episode 1, The Storytelling Animal by Jonathan Gottschall. And in that book, I've just started reading it, and it's amazing. In that book, he talks about how scientists previously thought that we only dreamt during REM sleep, which is about 90 minutes a night. But now they believe that we dream most of the night, not just during REM sleep. And in addition to that, the default state when we're awake is dreaming. It's called daydreaming, and people do it while they're eating, while they're driving, while they're doing housework or whatever, and it's just the default state of the human being. It isn't just that we tell stories, we are stories. We are stories we tell ourselves. This stuff blows me away. I've just started the book. I'm going to really dig into it. This is a life-changing book and will be my guide and on my path in my personal and professional life from now on. But it's not enough for me to just talk about books and ideas. The whole purpose of these videos is for you to get to know and hopefully like and trust me. Gary Vaynerchuk, author of The Thank You Economy and Jab, 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 Right Hook, and others, says I should be doing a video a day. I'm going to try. I have to write these things out, or I just freeze up unless I'm talking to a real human being. I don't have anything against which to react. But when I write these things out, it's so much easier and better for me. I feel like I really have said something, but I'm not going to write out the story I'm going to tell you. That's going to be just me from my heart. I want you to know what kind of person I am and how I came to be a fan of network marketing. Then I chose Solavei, and I've been very happy with them for 2 years, and things just get better and better and better. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get a notification of future shows and be part of my crew. Subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below the video, and remember, you should be doing this too. You should be building your brand, and video is the tool to do it. I have a story to tell you. What I did before Solavei. Well, what I did was I was a software engineer. I've been a software engineer since the 80s. I graduated from high school in 1977. Went to college and at Oregon State University in Corvallis, Oregon. Go Beavers! After I got out of college, I went back to Chicago, where I'm from, and started working for Walter E. Heller and Company, at that time a global bank, and I began programming in COBOL for Walter E. Heller and Company. And then I worked for a company called Velsicol Chemical, also in Chicago, a huge international chemical concern, again, programming in COBOL. And I realized that I really wanted more control of the computer, and I loved microcomputers. I read everything I could find and started programming the Apple IIc, the Apple IIe, and Atari 800, 400, the home computer, the TI 99 4A, the home computer that Bill Cosby sold on television, if you remember that. Um, and so I started writing games, and I met some amazing game developers in Chicago. Bally Games was located right outside of Chicago. I met, Dave Repka, the developer, the programmer for so many huge games, and one of a major contributor to Galaga, and a major contributor to so many great arcade games, is a great friend of mine. And I worked for Scott Forsman and Company in the edutainment division, and wrote games like Frogger, and my friend Tom Panacchia wrote, I think it was called Face Parts or something like that. But I wrote an early version of Frogger, and I can't remember the other names of the other games, but it was a fabulous time in my life. Moved to California, met the love of my life, my wife, in 1985, 86, and then I started to look at network marketing because I had been a developer for 5, 6, 7 years by then, and I really at that time had a long career, very successful, and I wanted to look for more time freedom, spend more time with my wife, and eventually, we were expecting kids, and so I started looking at network marketing. I looked at a company called Nu Skin International. I joined Nu Skin in 1986, 2 years after they started in 1984. I did pretty well. I was doing maybe $1,500 a month in gross, commissionable volume. We were doing. I remember distinctly going to my sponsor's house, and there were people all over the street in their cars picking up product from his garage, and it was a scene. It was incredible what was going on with Nu Skin. I wish I had stayed with Nu Skin because they've been very, very successful since then. But pills, potions, lotions, and other assorted notions really just weren't me. I'm a technology guy. I did ultimately find another company that sold gold, and gold. I've sold gold coins, privately minted coins, and Cougarans, and American Eagles, and Canadian maple leafs. And then I found a company which I really did well with and loved, Amerivox. In the mid 90s, early 90s actually, Amerivox, which sold prepaid phone cards. We were going to take the world by storm, prepaid phone cards. But the prediction of prepaid phone cards taking over the world was true. And that killed the company, because what happened was prepaid phone cards started to be so popular, they were sold at the end of my association with Amerivox. They were sold in the U.S. Post Office. That's when we knew it was time to get out of that business. Then, I kind of bounced around with gold again, a great company that I'm still a member of because I do believe in buying real money. I have got to think of the name of the company. I'll get back to that. And then later, in the 90s, mid 90s, late 90s, the People's Network, selling satellites that once you bought a satellite, I think it was like $600, and you could subscribe to the service that would allow you to have uplifting, success-oriented programming in your home 24/7. Jeff Olson and Eric Worre were the co-owners of the People's Network, and we had a fabulous time. I sold a lot of satellites. We were doing great, and then the company was sold, and that was the first time that I really ran across Eric Worre, and really just I met him several times, and what an amazing guy he is, and just loved getting to know him on that level, and eventually the People's Network was sold to Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated. And I was a member of Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated for a while. I remember being, and still am, a huge fan of Harlan Stonecipher. What an amazing man. What an amazing leader. And now Prepaid Legal Services Incorporated has been sold to another company and renamed Legal Shield. And I still have some amazing friends that are involved with Legal Shield. How you doing, Big Wave Dave? And so, you know, that's kind of my history. I love the people aspect of network marketing. I love the ability to leverage your time, and there are historical trends now that are really truly coming to the fore, where the process and the business of network marketing is so much more well respected now, and truly big companies. I know you've all heard probably that Warren Buffett has invested in a couple of network marketing companies, such as the Pampered Chef. Warren Buffett owns the Pampered Chef, and they are an incredible company. They sell hard goods, durable goods, pots and pans, and other tools to be used in the kitchen, and great company. It's just not my thing. I'm a technology guy. So then it's August of 2012. Actually, it's June of 2012. And I hear from some friends about this thing where they can't even tell me anything about it until I sign an NDA. And I say, well, I'm really not looking for anything. I'm happy. I'm working, got a good job. And I don't really, I've been bouncing around as a consultant for a few years, hard times, not making a lot of money. And then I got this great job at a company making almost $100,000 a year, and things are good. And I said, no, I'm not interested. And then, I keep hearing about it and hearing about it. Sign the NDA, sign the NDA. I said, no, I'm not interested. And then finally in August, my cousin tells me about this company. And she says, well, you don't have to sign an NDA. I'd love to send you some information. So I found out about Solavei. And the vision that Ryan Wirch, our CEO, laid down in that original 45-minute video was truly inspiring. And I got the vision. Social commerce. I got the vision that ultimately, the mission of Solavei is to make commerce less expensive and even profitable. And through our numbers, allow us to drive the cost of goods and services down for our members. And that's Solavei Marketplace. But along the way, we're going to offer goods and services as a primary services that we sell. And the first one is mobile phone services on the T-Mobile network. And I said, wow, I've been with T-Mobile since 2006. This is 2014 or 2012, so I've been with T-Mobile for 6 years. Okay, this sounds fabulous. So let's get started. So I get started with Solavei. And, the story is social commerce, making commerce less expensive and even profitable, rides on the back of the facts that we here in the U.S. have an economy that in total is about $15 trillion with a T. And if you take about a sixth of that, a third would be 5 million, a sixth of that would be about 2.5, I'm sorry, a third would be 5 trillion. A sixth of it would be about $2.5 trillion. That's the consumer economy. That's what you and I spend every year on everything that we buy. Our food, our clothing, our toys, our services, everything that we spend as consumers, $2.5 trillion a year. That's the field that we can play in. You know, a lot of people have heard, oh, the next billion-dollar company, where Solavei is playing in a $2.5 trillion playpen, and that got my attention. I really said, okay, I think I can be a part of that. And what happened was, okay, I'm on T-Mobile already. It's my wife, myself, and my 3 children. We're paying about $320 a month. The Solavei service at that time only had one price, $49, for unlimited talk, text, and data on the nationwide 4G network of T-Mobile. Well, I'm paying $320 for the 5 of us, and only 2 of us have data. And now I'm going to be paying $250, and all of us, all 5 of us, will have unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. I saved $70 a month. I increased my services, and that was my first introduction to Solavei. And I said, I like this. I like this. So, you know, Solavei's mobile service with 4G LTE is coming at the end of November. And then, of course, we're going to be making the move to Mexico. Sometime in 2015, we're going to be making the move to include Mexico in our 4G LTE services, and I am truly, truly excited about that. You may have heard, if you haven't, just as this video was going to be aired, AT&T purchased a company in Mexico that was responsible for about 91 million subscribers. I believe 70% of the Mexican population. They cover 70% of the Mexican population, and they have about 8 million subscribers. So they have a lot of growth potential, and I think you know, AT&T sees that. Our leadership saw that years ago and announced to us recently that we're going to Mexico, and so I'm very excited. Why am I doing these videos? Well, because Gary Vaynerchuk said so, and because social commerce is a powerful force in our lives, and it's only going to become more powerful. And video is the medium through which more people watch and get their news and information than any time in history before, and social media is a part of that. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's how you'll know about these videos when they're coming out, and I hope that this offered some value to you. Thank you very much for watching.